Hello, I'm Ian Osborne, and I'm the course team leader of Sociology at Longroad College. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the GCSE Sociology course that we run at Longroad, giving you some details about it. So, first of all, you'll be taught by Alexis Wood, probably, almost certainly. Alexis has been teaching sociology for many years, and she's really knowledgeable about the GCSE course. She's passionate about sociology, fantastic teacher, and she gets great results. So what we find is that there are a lot of students who do GCSE sociology with us, then do well, go on to do A-level, and it provides a fantastic foundation for your next level, for your A-level studies. Now, a lot of you will be wondering what sociology is, because it'll be a new subject to you. Most of you haven't studied it before. Very basically, very simply, it's the study of society. Why do human beings behave the way they do, and how does society influence that behavior? And the way sociologists go about understanding society is by doing research. So it's a very, very questioning subject. And if you're interested to find out about society, you're going to like sociology. Those people that have got questions about the world that they live in, asking things like what's happening, why is it happening, what can we do to make things better, you're going to enjoy it. Because sociology gives us the tools to get the insight to understand what's going on and how to make things better. Right, so what do we study? What topics do we cover? Well, there's a number of topics that we cover in the GCSE. We look at the sociology of education, we look at families, we look at crime and deviance, we look at something called social differentiation and stratification, and we look at the methods that sociologists use to study society. Tell you a little bit more about each of those things. So the sociology of education covers quite a lot, but one of the things that it looks at is why certain groups of students do better than others. So if you look at that little picture of those kids there, an ordinary diverse classroom, little group of friends, statistically speaking, some of those kids are more likely to do better than others. So we know that certain ethnic groups do better than others. We know that girls tend to do better than boys. And we know that middle and upper class children tend to do better than working class kids. Sociologists study why that is, and they develop theories. There are inside school theories about why this is happening, and there are outside school ones. It could be down to poverty and inequality. It could be down to the culture of the parents and the levels of interest that they've got. Or it could be down to what goes on inside the classroom. Certain kids are more likely to be labelled and get lower expectations, and as a result, fail. Okay, so that's sociology of education. We also look at the family. What's happening to the family? Is it changing? Is it becoming more equal, or does it still remain a very unequal institution where women do more than men? There are positive views of the family that look at it all about forming roles of socialization and getting family members to understand the norms and values of society so that we get consensus and order. And then there are critical sociologists who focus on the dark side of the family, inequalities between men and women, things like domestic violence. And that brings us on to looking at crime and deviance. What explains criminality in society? Why is certain crime rates growing, like knife crime, gun crime? Why is that happening? And how do we best deal with these situations? Does prison work, or is it counterproductive? These sort of questions. Like I said, important element within sociology is research methods. There's a variety of methods that sociologists use. They use questionnaires, they'll use interviews, they might use participant observation, where they might join the group of people that they want to understand, become a member of them, but to get a real insight and to put themselves in their shoes. There are strengths and weaknesses associated with all these methods, and we're going to look at those. Social differentiation and stratification is the inequalities in society. Some people are incredibly rich in British society, while other people literally are homeless. So we've got inequalities to do with class, to do with gender, to do with ethnicity, and to do with age. Certain groups have many more opportunities than others, and certain groups are actively discriminated against in British society, as the Black Lives Matter movement is so clearly demonstrating at the moment. Right, the structure of the course is like this. It's split into 2 papers. There's no coursework, just 2 exams. Both are 1 hour and 45 minutes each. The first paper is looking at key concepts in sociology and the processes of cultural transmission, families, education, and sociological research methods. And then in paper 2, you go on to look at social differentiation and stratification, crime and deviance, and applied methods of sociological inquiry. How we apply those research methods to the study of particular topics. The exam board is EduCAS, and it's a really well structured course. Now, as a GCSE sociology student at Longroad, you get the opportunity to go on the trips that the A-level students go on, and listen to the outside speakers that come in. So in the past, we've been to cinema to watch films of a sociological nature. We've been to visits where we meet serving or recently released prisoners who talk about their offending. And we've had speakers coming in from various universities as well. So where does sociology take you? Well, sociology is a well-respected academic discipline, and because it's talking about people, it's highly relevant to a lot of different jobs, to a lot of different professions. Now, in the long run, you could use it like this slide says. You could pause this slide and have a look into more detail. Administration, the world of business, welfare, education, a lot of sociology in teaching, journalism, public relations, the police, and research, things like not only sociological research, but things like marketing and charities as well. That's in the long run. In the short run, you're probably going to use Sociology GCSE to get you onto the next level. The next level is probably A-levels or other applied courses. And many of our students go on to study sociology, and GCSE provides a fantastic foundation. And what we find is that the students that have done GCSE sociology go on to do really well at A-level. And then many of them go on to university. So we've got students that did the GCSE course that are now at these sorts of universities. Sheffield, Essex, York, Birmingham, UEA, Queen Mary, all sorts of universities that our students go on to, and they do a variety of different courses: midwifery, nursing, journalism, law, education, criminology, to name but a few. So I hope that has sort of given you a little bit of an insight into what the sociology course covers. I'll just leave you with this quote from one of our Year 12 students who went on to do the A-level. So you can read that in your own time. So we really look forward to seeing you next year, hopefully when all this lockdown is released, and I think you'll enjoy studying sociology. Take care. Bye-bye.